Back for another InitVerse Talk Show today. We have our team with us today. We haven't done any housekeeping about events and what's going on, project developments in a little while. So I wanted to have Hakan today, our CBO, and Addy, an advisor, the tech advisor to the program. So welcome to the show today, guys.
Thank you. Nice being here.
Nice to be here.
Yeah. So how have you guys been? What are you thinking about right now with InitVerse in the market?
You see the smile here on my face? That's I think that's already explaining like how we feel. We're super bullish. Market is bullish. Finally, we're at the stage which we have been waiting for many years as builders and as investors, because it just directly impacts, like it's a direct impact on everything that we do here in the market, right? We are builders starting from scratch, and we get investors onboarded. But unless they basically make money, then we cannot start, right? We cannot start our projects and even continue for long term. And we see like very bullish signs from the regulatory perspective, like in particular in the US, largest economy. And also like this is like not a we are not I believe like this is not a cycle of like retails, but more like institutions. I think we all agree on this. Started with micro strategy like Michael Saylor, and then it attracted other institutions, and then now we have the largest players like BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, whatever, like Fidelity. And then we have finally have Ethereum version of Michael Saylor, right? And the MicroStrategy, Tom Lee, and co-founder of Ethereum, Joseph, they have been buying Ethereum for the last week like there's no tomorrow. So that actually like giving very bullish signs. So like very excited. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Addy, you want to share your perspectives?
Yeah, I completely agree with Hakan, like the smile and also the market sentiment towards BTC, towards altcoins that is coming right now, that you can see right now. And stablecoin bill passed yesterday, right? So you can see the sentiment around ETH, and also the now stablecoins issuance companies and also banks will get the wrapper that the traditional banks get, whether it is a bankruptcy, issuance, or something else. So now you're seeing like not just USDC or Tether, but also the traditional institutions, BlackRock, JPMC, and other big banks, Citibank, right? They're also coming in the space where they are also launching their own stable coins to streamline the payments and actually utilizing the crypto main powers, which is cross-border payments, DeFi, RWAs, and others, and a lot more where you can like actually use it. So the whole sentiment is bullish for in 2025. You can see it is shaping as the year the US finally gives crypto clear lanes, and also with all the other bills that they will pass for sure, especially for stable coins. And DeFi gets a path, right? Whether is a CBDC risk, they're actually talking about it. So this is not like a speculation. This is like a real mainstream thing. Yeah, what a great time to be alive.
Yeah, that summarizes it pretty well. With yesterday, we actually crossed the aggregate crypto market cap. Total market cap actually crossed $4 trillion for the first time. So that was like a major milestone for every Hakan, and you have mentioned, Addy, like the builders and the people that are always here. So I think like Hakan said as well, like retail, this hasn't really been a retail driven as much cycle as prior cycles. So maybe with some regulatory clarity coming through, that will spread across the world, and it will be retail season as Ethereum actually broke over 3,500 as well, as kind of Addy and you guys were mentioning. So I think that might be like the time when we're going to see like the alt season. No financial advice, but it seems like alts are going to be having their day. It's been a lot of Bitcoin lately. So, but let's get into let's talk just real quickly a little bit more about the stablecoin legislation. How do you guys think that will impact like the broader the ecosystems across all of crypto? Do you think it's bullish that the government is involved in crypto? in providing that sort of framework, or do you guys view it more as like the OG crypto anarchist side, where if they get involved at all, it's bad?
I think it's very bullish. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Trump is supposed to sign it today, correct? In the U.S. time, and then I think it's going to be they're going to throw it to hands of Federal Reserve, and other relevant parties to draft all this like details, and then it will be very clear to see like whether the tokens are like are securities or commodities, whatever you name it. At least we're going to have clarity on this, which then will how to say pave the way for all these banks, institutions to get involved more in crypto. We see this already, like crazy inflow and like billions of dollars each day, like every single day. I remember in the past, like during like last year, when $1 billion put into like crypto, like during the whole like 2-3 weeks, it used to be a good, real bullish sign. Now every single day, let alone like Bitcoin, it's like Ethereum as well, and some other coins. They're also planning. I think there are a lot of plans to issue ETFs as well for other altcoins, top 10 maybe. And again, like that's a very good sign. Like how to say, in particular for banks who were allowed to serve all those people, in particular in the US. I'm always giving the example of US because US is the largest economy and it's basically driving the whole world together with it. So that's why I always say US. And I think it will also attract other countries, because US said we want to be the capital of crypto, and now we see because I live in both in Turkey and Dubai, and I lived in Singapore as well, which is nearby. It's Hong Kong. I go very often, and those cities and countries, they all want to be leader in crypto, and yeah. So I think they're closely watching the US. As far as I talk to investors and all those VCs, venture capital funds, institutions, companies located in those countries, they're all basically majority, maybe not all, but majority are going after US basically. Like once we see those regulatory clarity happens, then I think big confidence, all these relative parties will have big confidence in getting more involved in crypto, which then will come back to us with positive results. Again, we as builders and that have been in the space for quite a while doing projects, we will have definitely positive results in that.
Yeah, the game theoretical advantage of being there, maybe not first, but one of the first primary adopters of the technology, and people will move with their feet for freedom. A lot of builders will move.
Absolutely, man. Look at like this RWA tokenization of all the stocks. I think you already watched Robinhood presentation back then during Ethereum event. Like crazy things are happening. Even BlackRock itself is like heavily involved, and now they're tokenizing stocks. They're tokenizing credits. Like I think technically everything can be tokenized, but now they're more focusing on tokenized assets, which will bring more value, and it's already happening. So together with all this like base layer solution, like stable coins are I think one of the most important part, because it's a kind of gateway for both users, like retails and institutions, to be like to enter the crypto space, right? And it's also we can also count it as tokenization. It doesn't bring any yield, but it's a tokenization, and it represents US dollar at the end of the day. So we have very bullish signs. There are a lot of things to talk. Sorry, I'm talking too much, but yeah, I've just found a space where I can say a lot of stuff. Yeah.
No, it's exciting. I appreciate it, Hakan. That was good. It's exciting because I view it a lot like you. I think everything of value is going to be tokenized on chain. Adi, how are you looking at it?
Yeah, a lot of points covered by Hakan, and I agree with all of them. So just to add a few more points, that we are the first movers. If you see, like we crossed the $4 trillion market cap, but still it's the start, right? We are well standing. Bitcoin is like 120K. It's not 120K. It's like $0.12 million, right? So that's how you see it. And if you see, I was reading a Paradigm report that we're seeing stable coins around, we have around 300 stable coins or something, because the stable coins are really great, right? You don't need to like remittances, anything that you don't need to worry about, whether it is inflation or something else. So everyone can have their own stable coins, and they can have like 10,000 stable coins. uh, but for that you need clarity. Everything you do, you need clarity. So with these bills, with the governments coming in and also doing a lot of great work, so they are bringing clarity so that the banks, because banks and traditional finance is looking towards DeFi to actually um, make the traditional mechanism more efficient, right? Because they want to also tokenize dollar at scale, and they will also reach more people where where they cannot in the traditional finance, because they just take way more time. There's nothing transparent or something like that. And you can just take my words that the like Bitcoin reserve, the countries are taking right now, whether it is US and other countries, is on, right? Everyone wants a Bitcoin reserve. So yeah, it's a very bullish time to be currently.
Okay, let's shift gears away from the Genius Act. There's two other bills that have not passed both parts of the U.S. government yet, so we'll talk about those later in a future show. But yeah, I appreciate you guys' insights on stablecoins. I agree with everything you both said. Let's move on to any mining, and there's some developments like I mentioned here. So do you guys want to tell people what's going on with any mining? It's officially live. If you want to give any sort of breakdown or any sort of opinion on that and how that sort of democratizes what proof of work is all about.
Yeah, should I go first, or is it?
Yeah, we'll just keep the same. We can keep the same pattern.
Sure. I'm not sure. Maybe is it better to at least like say a few words about like what InitVerse is actually doing? Basically, there are three major platforms or products that we have. The first one is AnyChain, which I believe we have been, and you also have been talking a lot about during your show, during X Space events, and we do also post regular content on a regular basis on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So we're an L1, EVM compatible L1, privacy focused layer one. And why it's important, because we talked about institutions, we talked about those companies, and I personally believe that at the end of the day, most of the companies that we see, they're going to have their own L2. But in like we already seeing this some of the exchanges, they including like Robinhood, they picked Arbitrum Tech to build their own L2. We have like Coinbase, they're on Ethereum, and we have like so many, and we see like all these institutions, including BlackRock, including Fidelity, including like all these companies, will at the end of the day they will want to utilize from their users' transactions, and they want to have their own privacy. And for this, they need to have a tech. They don't much understand blockchain as we actually do, because we have been here building all along, and because this is like it didn't happen at night, right? We knew this. It's all these challenges that we will be facing in the future, and how the solutions to them. And that's also how we came up with InitVerse, and why we have AnyChain privacy focus. I'm not going to get into too much technical details, but it's basically based on the tech based on a fully homomorphic encryption model, which kind of helps you, like in an easy way, help you process smart contracts while they're encrypted. So this is a very big issue, and it doesn't also reveal that's important, because it doesn't reveal the information that you don't want it to. So let's suppose that you're talking to a chat model, right? You have to expose all this information of privacy, and then it just have how to say your information, your data, and all these companies, they would love, they want privacy to a certain extent. So we are trying to keep balance between privacy and transparency, which is also main pillar of the blockchain technology. Having said this, I want to move on to another one, which is InitSaaS, like a SaaS platform, particularly built for application builders. I build a lot of application, and I know I'm aware of some of like actually majority of the challenges that I myself actually faced. You have to prune a lot of, you have to invest a lot of money, invest time, and then assemble a team, which is really hard. But and then maybe at the end of the year, maybe it takes 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years, and then you have an app. Now instead we say we already have all this application like templates where you can do all this customization, add some functionality, and spend a few $100s, like literally a few $100s, with one single click, taking a few minutes. Then you have your own app based on your requirement. So this is another platform. The third one is what we call InitCloud. It's just, you can consider it as a decentralized version of AWS, like Amazon and Google Cloud. Then where you don't have to rely on like such centralized authorities. So we basically everyone can come and become part of this cloud. Let's say you have your own GPU, CPU, doesn't matter, and then you contribute in different from a different angle. Then you have your yield. Basically, you get your rewards. And you mentioned we have just launched our Ini mining, Ini cloud mining, which is really good thing. And we talked about tokenization. I think this is a very good example of tokenization, because I'm not sure if you guys have ever tried mining like with real machines. It's really hard, in particular for those who have zero background knowledge. How do you do this like maintenance? How do you like switch it on and off? You do like transaction, like you take tokens, and it's really complicated. And you may not have the space. Maybe the electricity bills in your country, like mine in Turkey, crazy high, and it's not profitable at all. And then at the end of the day, when the crypto crashes, like bear market, it's not profitable anymore. You want to sell it out, but there's no demand. So there's so many difficulties that I faced. So I'm very, very aware of this. So that's why instead we say, hey, you don't have to take care of anything. We are already doing this. You just buy the token, which are the direct representation of all these machines that we invested, and you get your part, like in any token, which have some real value. And for those who want to start, we have different packages. Can go to our website basically, and also follow us on Twitter, like previously Twitter, now X, and see all these details. Again, there are so many details, but again, just going very briefly for those who do not have much knowledge about what we have been doing so far. That's why I just wanted to give a little bit of intro.
Our product relationship, there's a lot going on, so that was a very good 30,000 feet up breakdown. Thanks, Hakan. Addy, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, a lot of things happening. So for the InitCloud, right? So basically, InitCloud AWS, we have already used AWS a lot of time if you are a developer for deployment and everything. But what InitCloud does is like pairs on-chain compute, and then you have storage, like you have InitVerse Initiate, right? And then developers can also deploy their dApps, and if like it's very time consuming also if you compare it to traditional finance, right? But you can easily deploy your dApps and even compute, right? So, for example, there Hakan mentioned about that you need to be very heavy resource friendly to actually run mining or everything else. But now with this, you need very less resource, and actually you can start from day one without thinking about anything else. With a very few steps, very easy to start and get started.
Absolutely. And as part of that, before we wrap up here, in the interest of keeping these digestible for people, not taking up too much time, and that you could get through these. Well, also, InitVerse has launched our early contributor airdrop, which is part of the debut of InitCloud mining. So all this, you can go over to our Medium, X, and if you want to read more about it on Medium, you can check all this. The posts are on X. I would hit the bell, because there's always news or Twitter Spaces, X Spaces. Hakan just wrapped one up before we got on here. We're all partaking in stuff like that. And if you ever need us, there's always somebody available in our Telegram chat regarding any sort of issues or any questions you have. We're all active in there, so we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And there's normally no wait time there. I just wanted to add one last thing before we get off here. Our token is officially on I'm going to talk a lot about the token or the price or anything like that. We're not going to get into that, but you can get on the sites and check that out and look into what we're doing with this in listings. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys' time today. I just want to have you guys come on and talk about a couple things, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. But is there anything else you guys want to talk about real quick before we get off here about what you're interested in the next couple weeks, or what you're excited about? I know we're all excited about the market.
Market, yeah. So I'll be closely watching the market. Even right after we end the session, the first thing I'm going to be doing is picking up my phone and looking at the market. Other than building.
Hakan, how many times do you think you guys in Addy? How many times do you think you have checked your blockfolio in the last 72 hours?
Oh yeah. So yes, that's right.
How many times do you think you've looked? Do you think you've looked over 100 times at the prices?
Yeah, 100 is less.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a good weekend. I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
building.
All right. We'll see you guys.
See you.